Hey everyone, welcome to another segment of Mother Wood's Inspirational Corner. We try to, connect with my mom and have her share testimonies, not just her testimonies, but testimonies from other people she's watched and she's actually listened to, people she know. And she likes to share how God has moved in their lives, things that they've seen, things that probably make you go, whoa, but God is good. And today we want to talk about, my mom wants to talk about what? Mary Catherine Baxter.
Yes, I have so many.
While we're talking. And just so you know, we're all driving while we're talking. Go ahead, Mom.
There's so much to tell until I have to do this a little bit at a time when I'm talking about people. I wanted to do Mary Catherine Baxter, A Divine Revelation of Hell first. And then the next time I come on, I want to do Rebecca, he came to set the captives free.
Now my mom always talks about Mary Catherine Baxter. She's actually marketing the woman's book to other people. She gives people the book to read, right?
Yeah.
Why is it what is about Mary Catherine
Wait
Baxter?
a minute, I want to start off first to talk about the Zion prayer band.
Oh, okay.
Our Zion prayer band started in the 1970s. We wasn't just a prayer band. We were in court. Our names were in court on the file. And we came from under the Boosting Jesus.
Why was our name in court?
We had it filed.
It was legal.
Oh, the legal organization.
It was an actual legal organization that had
people from different churches that were members.
That was part of an umbrella of another group.
Yeah,
right?
It started from the Boosting Jesus movement.
You wasn't just in a prayer group that just formed in somebody's basement.
Right.
Okay.
No.
Got it.
Organized.
Okay.
And organized in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And went to many different states. Many people ministered in homes from different churches. We all wasn't from the same church.
Right, different denominations,
Yes,
but all of you all were Christians, born again believers.
And our prayer band leader, Prophetess Mary Weatherly, was the leader of us.
Okay, of the prayer band.
We did a lot of things. What happened is we invited ministers to Waukegan, Illinois, in North Chicago.
Okay.
Dr. Mildred Harris.
From the Chicago area.
Okay. E.R. Allen from the Chicago area.
That's right. You guys did have a lot of...
They came.
Other people that come in to minister and to speak their testimonies, books they've written.
Yeah. Okay. Pastor Juanita Bynum.
Okay.
And
Chicago area.
Yes, many of the Chicago area people and other area of saints came in our homes and ministered.
Okay.
And what I want to talk about is Tom Bynum. Pastor Tom Bynum is Pastor Juanita Bynum's
her brother. Right? Okay.
Our prayer group, along with Pastor Barbara Pruitt, wanted to send for Mary Catherine Baxter.
Okay.
We're going to get together and bring her here to minister.
Did you know about her before you guys decided to bring her in?
We read her books.
Oh, so you had read her book.
Oh, yes. Pastor Pruitt had the tapes on her, and I had the book.
Okay.
And Pastor Pruitt and Prophetess Mary Weatherly, they were like family to us. They're in heaven now.
Okay.
They passed on out of here. But we were just busy. We had prayer members that visited prisons, jails. We've been in homes, prayed in people's homes.
We would even go out as kids with you guys.
Yes, to minister.
Prayer. We were always on the prayer list too. Kim was laughing. Her name was always on the prayer list. They prayed for the kids.
And her cousins.
And she made the list every single week.
Yeah, they would argue about which one stayed on the prayer
list the longest.
Right.
Okay.
So I said that to say this. It's because of the prayer band and all of that. And
how you were introduced to Mary Catherine Baxter.
Right.
Okay.
That I knew about all of this.
Okay.
And we just, what happened is we wanted to send for her, but thank God he knew that. That is the reason he had Pastor Bynum bring her to Waukegan in North Chicago area.
Okay.
To the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
She ministered. We met her. And they were good friends. She had been coming to Chicago a lot.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he was very familiar with her.
Yeah,
her ministry.
yeah.
Okay.
So I thank him for that, Tom Bynum.
Okay.
And her ministry was really wonderful because I would listen to her books. I would read her books for about 3 months.
About her. But was this the divine revelation of heaven or hell?
A Divine Revelation of Hell is the first book she wrote.
Okay.
Since then, she has written many books. A Divine Revelation of Heaven, Angels, all of that.
Okay.
Many people know her now. At one time, they wouldn't accept her.
Why?
When she first wrote the book.
Why?
They didn't believe in the book.
Believe in
A
her.
Divine Revelation of Hell.
This is something how people do documentaries all over the world, but yet she gets pushed back for hers.
Pushed back.
That's her testimony. That's her documentary.
Like, why did God pick you?
Yeah.
She said she don't feel like she's above everybody else because God chose her to write about hell.
Okay.
That she was just a praying woman, a intercessor, housewife. So what happened is, like I said, Bynum brought her here to minister.
So what was the things that, are you going into some of the things that she shared in her book?
Okay, I want to go also back. Yes, because I worked at Underwriters Laboratory where the engineers did,
testing products for safety. Yeah. The UL symbol.
And I was there from 1979 until 2001.
Yeah.
A long time. You worked part-time
I worked part-time there too.
At Underwriters. So what I did, I typed a lot. I was a word processing operator. And I typed information about hell and Mary Catherine Baxter's book. I went into the Word of God and took scriptures about hell.
That referenced
St. Luke, the rich man.
Even when Jesus talked about it.
Jesus talked about hell.
Yeah, the rich man going to hell.
So I passed this out to many employees and underwriters. And some of them took it and was happy about it.
Read
Others took it and was afraid. I had one man to say to me, I only read to the 10th page because this really frightened me. And I said to him, if this frightened you, what would happen if you actually go to hell eternally? Because you can't get out.
Some people don't like talking about hell.
Once you go to hell, you can't get out of hell.
They don't believe it or not.
You
if
can't
they
say
believe
you're sorry.
it, they're scared of hell.
You can't get out. You're there eternally. This young man would go with me to cash checks every payday. And he was telling me how miserable and depressed his life was. He said his mother was a lesbian and his sister was a lesbian. And he was so unhappy that he wanted to kill himself.
Okay,
When I finished talking to him about hell, he changed his mind.
Because thinking I may go there if I kill myself.
He said, no,
if
I'm
I
not
take
killing
my
myself.
life.
If I take my life, I'm going to hell.
He started believing that's a real place.
Yes.
At
first he didn't know anything about hell.
God created for really Satan and his demons.
And these people need to be ministered to, that wants to commit suicide.
Because God is not willing that any should perish. And perish means that our spirit and our soul lives on. And it goes to a place that could be separated from him eternally.
Yes.
Okay.
So I learned a lot from her book. And like I said, I ministered at Underwriters about that. And it's just so many testimonies until I really didn't want to bring Rebecca's in after this.
But
hers is totally different.
But I need you to stay with Mary and Catherine Baxter because that was one of the women that you are always talking about. Kim and I always hear testimonies about when she came here. Her books.
Went to heaven.
She saw a glimpse of hell. She saw a glimpse of heaven. People are interested in those visions that God gives them when they maybe get sick or almost die.
Okay.
And whether they believe it or not, we believe that there's an eternal place with God or away from God. And you get us excited because that excites you that she's living before she died, she was living her life telling people what God was showing her. She was John the Baptist, warning people.
And this would make you
get
cry.
Your life straight so you won't
read
go
her
there.
Book, and I'm sure many people have read her book, and those who haven't read her book, is that she's telling you that Jesus took her into hell 40 days and 40 nights at a time. You bring her back.
Her book talks about that.
Because she was so terrified. She was terrified going into hell. Jesus allowed her to go, but he was with her. Okay. But there were times when she didn't know he was with her. He would let her fixed it where she didn't really know he was there to see how she was going to react.
Okay.
He wanted her to know this so that she didn't think she was dreaming when she came out of this.
Okay.
He wanted her to know this
showed
was
her that
for
vision.
real.
This is a real place.
When two demons grabbed her and she was screaming, and she said, no, no, no. And they put her in a cell. They locked her in a cell.
Okay.
And then there's pits in hell where people are trying to get out. And she said that you don't see bodies, you see like a mist. A mist and shells.
Because it's our spiritual body that's even
You only know them from the voice.
Okay.
If you hear the woman talking or the man talking, you know that was a woman and a man. And she could hear screamings and all of that. And how demonic spirits love to torture the souls that come there. They're waiting to torture every soul that come to hell because they're not getting out.
Okay, so they figure we ain't going nowhere.
They hate man anyway.
They're going to kill you and torture you because you're dead.
Do all kinds of things like pour liquid stuff down a person's mouth. And
so she said all this in her book.
All of this was in her book.
This book was about her divine revelation
of
what God was showing her the hell that some people don't believe in.
Right.
I wondered, did she not believe in it before? Why he had to show her that?
You know, he just chose her because she was an intercessor. Like my sister is an intercessor. She prays all the time. Where her spirit left her body at one time.
Right.
She was just close to God and loved him. And she was an intercessor. Okay. She was a housewife that raised 4 children. And she didn't have a job or anything. She just prayed all the time. She prayed.
So Mary and Catherine, was she sick? When did she start seeing this vision? Was she in the hospital or something?
She was at home, and she was on her knees praying to God. Like she sometimes sit in a chair and pray. Sometimes she'll fall on her knees and pray. And all of a sudden, the roof rolled back. She was startled. And she looked up and saw Jesus. Ooh, can you imagine?
In your
Jesus
prayer time.
Standing in your room.
Lord. I don't know if I would be. He would have to come in a peaceful way where I wouldn't be scared.
And it's also how she perceived Jesus.
He came in a peaceful way.
Appeared to her the way she would perceive.
Okay. He said, "Fear not."
Not the blue-eyed guy that we see in
pictures. Or it
pictures.
might be, but if that's how you perceive him, that's how he'll appear.
But she saw him like
interesting.
It was interesting. He had like hair down to his neck, like and he looked like some of the pictures, a little bit like with some of the.
That's how she perceived.
She resembled some of the photos. Okay.
And as he was standing there, he told her, "Don't fear not." He said, "Don't fear me." He said, "God chose you for me to take into hell. I'm going to take you into hell.
And show you.
You've been chosen.
Okay. Give you a divine revelation of it."
Ooh, so he took her through tunnels, straight through tunnels into hell.
This was her outer body.
That was her outer
spirit
body
going to
hell with her.
A place away from this earth.
She felt safe when she looked and saw horrifying looking demonic spirits.
Oh, Lord.
She said that when she has never watched scary movies, horrible movies, but when she came back to the earth, she realized that those demonic spirits are horrible looking.
Some people love horrible pictures with ugly faces.
They only realize that it's true.
Well. Satan is an angel. He can appear as
anywhere he wants.
Yeah, the scariest face.
When he was kicked down from heaven, he became a demonic spirit. But when he was in heaven, he was beautiful. He was a praise angel.
So that shows he can appear as anything.
He was a beautiful angel, and he could go talk to God anytime. And he was over many angels. Worshipped him, idolized him.
Right.
That's why 1/3.
That's why
fell with him.
Yeah.
They
followed him. I just didn't understand that. And as far as the history of
1/3 of them
these demonic forces and how they became about following some angel that wasn't even. Why would you follow something that's not even created you?
God created all of them.
Yes.
And he created Satan. Satan was a beautiful angel. But Satan kept going to God, wanting this. Like some of these people in this world today, they are rich, proud, arrogant. They think that they're the only ones that can help people.
Thank you. That they in control because they have all the money, there's pride and greed.
Oh yeah, and God hates proudness.
Yeah, that's
They
how
become
Satan
real
was.
proud.
He was very proud.
And
Okay.
he was like spoiled. Like he knew that the angels worshiped him. He was even higher than Michael, the archangel, and Michael and Gabriel.
Did she talk about a lot of that in her book, or what? Or she
mentioned some of
mainly
these things what made me go back to the Bible and see that she's telling the truth.
Okay.
About the angels, Michael and Gabriel,
Okay.
and all of that. And Michael was just, he was a beautiful angel that wasn't going to let nobody tackle God. You can't mess with my God. And Satan was an angel that praised himself. And he kept going to God. You can imagine how God was tired of him.
Right.
Talking about, we can do this, we can do that. Why can't you let me do this?
Okay.
Think of a spoiled child like Trump. Why can't you let me do this? And I want to do that. And God was getting tired of him. But what happened is that he just got mean. Like, I'm going to do it. You know, I want to take over. I'm going to be God. He won't do it, so I'll do it.
Okay.
So Satan, and then his angels fought with Michael.
This is all in her book. Are you not just talking about the kingdom of Satan in general? Was this in Mary
All of it was
Catherine
some
Baxter's
of it.
book? Okay.
It only took me to the Bible.
Okay.
About Satan, but
So I want to hear more about.
I get off of him.
Yeah. 'Cause
Hers
we
is-
could talk about him all night, and I don't want to.
But hers is when he, what she saw in hell, and how the demons tortured souls, especially if he was a minister and ministered up here and went to hell. They have special treatments for them.
So sometimes we joke and think there's departments of hell or areas of hell. Like, you're going to bust hell right open, depending on.
She did say when you mention areas, there are many areas.
Oh, really?
Of hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you would think, too, it's unfortunate because I know Paul talks about in the New Testament, I preach Christ, but myself be a castaway.
You could go in the area.
It makes me wonder, the ministers that,
first,
like a
Jim. We finish.
Jim Jones, that's what I'm gonna do, you guys.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to wait.
You had stopped.
I stopped because I'm trying to get her back on the track of the book.
Right next to this white car, pull next to this white car.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
In fact, I don't.
No,
right there.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna pull over here.
No. Okay.
You know, that's why
I want to pull over here, you guys, because we're talking,
like
and I don't want
stick
people
to
looking all in our face.
what she said
I
about.
want to pull right here.
Okay.
Because we're free to, nobody's sitting part of.
And I'm glad you're keeping me with what Mary Catherine.
Yeah, because I know you'll go. I want to make sure that you're touching all of the areas of her book that she talked about, because that's what you're selling to people. Mary and Catherine Baxter's Divine Revelation of Hell, and how she talked about when Jesus had kind of like taken her out of her body when she was praying to see it, to see how real it is, and to the point where she saw areas of hell where depending on what you've done and didn't do right in your walk with God, or not knowing him at all, that's where you would land. And you mentioned, like, for ministers,
and Jesus knew that she was frightened, she was nervous, she didn't want to be alone, so he would console her, and he had to take her back and forth. It wasn't just it happened where she stayed down there.
Oh, okay.
He
So
had
she
to bring
came
her
back.
So she could think right.
Was it the same timing? Like, her next time of prayer?
It was like,
or was it all at that same time she was praying?
He brought her back home, but he had to take her during those 40 days.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
trying to
So
figure,
this within 40 days.
See, she didn't go through that a long time.
Okay.
So I would say get the book. If you're interested in this, get the book, The Divine Revelation of Hell by Mary and Catherine Baxter.
Is it Marion?
Mary.
Or
Mary Catherine Baxter.
Mary Catherine Baxter.
My mom, she's been giving that book to everybody.
A Divine Revelation of Hell and a Divine Revelation of Heaven.
Okay.
So we're talking about her one book about the Divine Revelation of Hell.
And she has another one, Divine Revelation of
We'll
Heaven.
talk on that one too. But God, I guess too, to end this, all of this, God, she's not the only one that God has been using to show the glimpse of where souls will go eternally. But her testimony is
about
such.
this young guy in the game.
Yeah, you could do that on the next one.
Well, I want to finish him Because I got so many.
Ma, you can do that on the next one.
Okay.
Okay, y'all.
His is real
She can
short.
do that on the next one. All right, so how you end out?
You know what? How many minutes is this? Because
Not long.
This one is another example of a glimpse of hell. And I would
What I
like for her
wanted
to
to
stay
say,
on that subject with
because
him
I
real
can't say
quick.
this another time.
Let her
Okay.
say it now.
I'm
Let her
going to
flow.
talk about Rebecca, the other. Her
Right, that's a
story.
different topic.
I
But
can't bring that in on hers.
this one is
So-
about a person that had a glimpse of hell
This was
themselves.
a gang member
Okay.
that had gotten shot,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and a guy took him to hell for a few minutes.
Turn the camera more on her.
Okay.
He didn't stay in hell long, but he stayed there long enough to see what hell was like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his
So
was
he
very
got
short.
a glimpse of it too.
And some of the things that Mary Catherine said.
Was he almost dying?
Yeah.
Because
He got shot
in
to
her
be-
situation, she was in a prayer. She was in prayer, and the Holy Spirit. You said Jesus came and appeared to her, and then took her on that journey to see. This
Yeah.
man was what? Almost
He
dying.
was in a gang and got shot.
Got shot. Okay.
And in the hospital, and he was dropped down in the hell for a few minutes.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And he came out testifying from then on.
Okay. This is his testimony.
I watched that on a Christian program
Uh-huh.
because he said the things that you see, you wouldn't believe.
And
it.
you
He
and
said,
you
but
know
if
what?
you knew that was a hell,
Uh-huh.
you change your life.
And I'm glad that God is showing more of that in people testimonies and going forth, because if one person is saying it, that's her story,
Right.
I don't
But if
believe
more
it.
people
And
say
more
it.
people go, I saw it too. I saw it. He took me there too.
And there's
You
more and
gotta
more
like
people.
shut up.
Right.
There's-
We know you real now, because 10 people have gone and seen the divine revelation
since
of
then-
hell, and that is a real hell.
Yeah, since Marianne's, Mary Catherine
Catherine
Baxter's book,
Mhm.
other people have had experience,
Right.
like being dropped down there a few seconds.
But I
a
wanted
few
you to
minutes,
definitely
and
share
come back.
her book,
Yeah.
and then that quick one about that gentleman.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep it moving, you guys,
Okay.
because my mom got
The
a
next
lot
time I
of
wanna
other
talk about-
testimonies.
He came to set the
Captives
Okay.
Free.
All
That's
right.
that's one of my favorite books. But we'll talk about that in the next
I'm
segment.
glad my daughter's helping me because I have so many
You got a
testimonies.
lot
So
of
many
them.
And I don't want to
testimonies.
blend them all
We'll
in
be here
together.
for 10 hours.
Yeah, I would blend
That's
them all.
why we're doing the show,
and
so she
confuse
can come
you.
back.
We're doing
and
segment after
do
segment.
another
But I
segment.
didn't want her to lose that gentleman that
Right,
she
right.
said. So
Okay.
So we're about to shut down, you guys, and stay tuned for some more testimonies from Mama Wood's Inspirational Corner.
And then